Welcome to another edition of Acquisitions Anonymous podcast. I'm Heather Anderson, and today I was joined by Mills and Bill, and we did an episode on a 70-year-old food manufacturing company in Mills's backyard. It had some pretty interesting characteristics. We got into a really interesting discussion about boiled peanuts for some reason. I have no idea. It's Friday. So please enjoy the episode and let us know what you think.
Also, Acquisitions Anonymous.
Hello, another episode of Acquisitions Anonymous.
We don't have 100% beard anymore.
And thumbs downing on just the plus inventory alone.
So many founders and operators still use their personal number to talk to customers. And sure, that works when you're just starting out, but eventually it starts costing you time and money. That's where OpenPhone comes in. It's a modern business phone system that lives in an app. You get one number and your whole team can use it like a shared inbox for calls, text, voicemails, all in one place. Somebody reaches out to you, your ops lead can reply. Your co-founder can follow up. You don't have to be the bottleneck anymore. And if you miss a call, OpenPhone's AI agent picks it up, answers questions, and even logs new leads for you. It's one of those tools that makes you wonder why you didn't switch over sooner. 60,000 businesses already have. OpenPhone is offering our listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/AAPOD. That's OPENPHONE.com/AAPOD. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers.
All right, Friday Energy Part 2. This is, listeners, we record 2 episodes per session, and it's Friday, and we just hammered out the first one, and the vibes are good. So if it's not Friday where you are, it's Friday right now. Enjoy it.
I wish people could hear sometimes the before and after the episode, the whole premise of the podcast was kind of anonymity so that we could talk openly about things. But like we've talked recently offline about Bill selling his business, Bill buying a house, but then we're also doing these things like where I'm like, oh, what deal are we going to do next? I'm like, oh, this is a good one. And we hit record. So,
this is as live as it gets. We are reacting live. So Mills is still trying to redeem himself for the Ukrainian dairy farm. So he says that he has
the Russian music catalog.
Yeah.
I found this Mergers Court website and it is the most obscure stuff. But this one jumped out because the title was 70-year-old. It's a 70-year-old business. Then as I'm reading the description to the gang, it's like, oh, it's based in South Carolina, which is where I'm based. So I was like, I stopped reading at that point. Let's hit record.
You got excited.
Yeah. So this is a 70-year-old American producer and wholesaler of prepackaged foods. Target price is $2 million. Their revenue is $5.7 million and EBITDA is $426,000. Says exciting business opportunity located in a prime area of South Carolina, specializing in the production, packaging, and distribution of sandwiches to vending machine companies. This is getting better by the minute. I love it. So vending machine companies, grocery and convenience stores, as well as various institutions. In 2023, the business generated an impressive revenue of $5.7 million with seller discretionary earnings amounting to $426,000. So up here, they said EBITDA, but they're using EBITDA and SDE interchangeably, which is Heather's favorite hill to die on.
Don't do that.
Don't bait her into it.
No.
The facility, encompassing 14,000 square feet, is equipped with a substantial operational freezer measuring 60 feet by 60 feet by 30 feet. Oh my goodness. You might be able to see this thing from space. The 5-acre property, including the building, is available for purchase or lease, providing flexibility for potential buyers or lessees. The company proudly offers a proprietary line of deli meat subs, breakfast sandwiches, hamburgers, hot dogs, and more, catering to diverse customer needs. A skilled and capable staff is in place, ensuring seamless operations even in the absence of the owners. Furthermore, the processing and packaging equipment is modern and fully functional, guaranteeing efficient production capabilities. This venture represents a valuable opportunity for growth in an established market, supported by a strong operational foundation. So that is pretty much all there's a little bit more info down here. So, wow, they have 42 employees, non-union. It says that the facilities, they list a little bit of information here. They say the equipment is worth $1.2 million. They have inventory of $326,000. And then the property sits on an acre and a half, or the building sits on an acre and a half size property. It's kind of everything.
So
there is
I
on
am
there.
just picturing, I love this. I'm picturing, how many square feet do you say it is, Mills? It is
14,000 square feet.
square feet with 40 people hammering out sandwiches all day long. It's a sandwich factory. This is so cool. I love sandwiches. So this is like heaven for me.
But managing 42 people for $420,000 of EBITDA sounds kind of like a nightmare to me.
Heather, please don't. I'm so excited about this one.
You're still excited. I'm sorry.
Heather's the new Michael.
I'll try to be
more
more
right
positive.
at the beginning.
Yeah, it's Friday.
You're right.
I'm
when I
tired.
got to the number of employees, though, I mean, that is now. I don't think it's seasonal. I'm trying to talk myself into it. Like maybe they're seasonal employees. They're not. Sandwiches are consumed all year round. I don't know. That's
so this is 5.7 million revenue divided by 42 employees and $135,000 of revenue per employee. But there's also $426,000 of EBITDA. So that's $10,000 roughly of EBITDA per employee.
Yeah.
That's not great.
That's rough. That's rough.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So let's kind of unpack this business. They have their customer is probably local or regional grocery stores and convenience stores. You know, you go into the gas station and they have like all the coolers with the beer and the Gatorade and the Coke and all that kind of stuff. And then they have all the candy bars and the bags of chips. But then now more and more I've seen like this little island cooler that has some fresh fruit and like a very just generic turkey sandwich with lettuce and I guess there's hamburgers on those. I've never really looked at the kiosk that hard, but there's hamburgers and hot dogs as well.
Right, Mills, you are in construction, man. You are supposed to eat at one of these places every day.
I do. My family has really started to judge me. They're like, why did you spend, $9 at the 7-Eleven? And I'm like, well, the pizza is actually better than you think. And they're like, ooh.
Mills, I was really counting on your expertise here in convenience store food.
Okay, so QT right now has the best gas station food out of any convenience store by far. Now, I don't know about like some of the niche ones like Parker's and some of these others, but QT has incredible pizza. The barbecue sandwiches are way better than you would think. And they have really good tacos, including a taco station, like a taco topping station with like salsa and like fresh cut tomatoes and things like that. So, Bill, I wasn't trying to tell on myself, but there are some options out there, but QT's at the top of the.
It's QT. I hear Mills saying that QT is the best gas station to ever exist. So if all the Wawa and Sheetz people can come murder Mills.
But like 7-Eleven has wings that they look like they have been eaten and spit back out. Oh. And that's kind of the starting point. So I don't eat those.
So I hope that this sandwich company makes the good burgers and sandwiches. And they say they have breakfast sandwiches, hot dogs, meat subs, like all kinds of stuff. Have you ever seen like in the gas stations too, there's like the microwave?
Yep.
And you buy it and you microwave it and then you have a hot meal, which I think this is kind of supplying that. These are the sandwiches in the clear triangular packages, and like ready to eat or ready to microwave.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that this is a very stable business in terms of their, the means of distribution. I'm just more concerned about, you're not selling to QT. They are sourcing and making their own stuff. You're not selling to Wawa and Sheetz and, Spanx and all these others, the big chains. I think you're selling to the independent operators who are buying gas from somebody and they, are just the lower man on the totem pole. I don't think that's a bad thing, but it makes you wonder how you're diversified probably from customer concentration. I would hope, I think, but how hard is it to grow this business? You're also geographically constrained because you're not going to make the sandwiches in South Carolina and take them to Southern Florida. You have to have other facilities there because of the close proximity and freshness. But okay, if the business isn't growing or maybe has a very expensive path to growth, but it is stable revenue, is it worth 5 times?
I would guess it has shrunk. This is a 70-year-old company. So my guess is they existed before those chains,
Mhm.
had their own in-house, sandwich making, and some of the bigger grocery chains may have used them at one time. And I bet you if you look back far enough, you'll see that this is slowly shrinking down to maybe just serving the independent operators. That would be my guess, just because of how old it is. 70 years old and only 400,000 of EBITDA.
Yeah, I'd love to see the 20-year revenue trend on this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So the big picture is it's shrinking probably.
Yeah, you just wonder if this stuff over time gets more and more commoditized. It's made in a huge factory in Atlanta and shipped by truck,
Yeah.
to South Carolina, and that you can't beat those economies of scale over time.
Yeah. Right.
Or flip
Unless
side, maybe it's got to be local because it's like
Yeah.
fresh food, and you can't do that. So
Yeah.
I want to understand the long-term dynamics of how centralized can this get, or does it always
Mhm.
have to be local because it's fresh?
Yeah.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it does have to be. Maybe it's regional. For other folks I know who are in the, perishable food space, it just seems like it really doesn't go that far. Now, if it's something that, like we talked, I think about, didn't we talk about po- uh, almond pollinating and like moving beehives and stuff like that? Like that's obviously something that somebody's going to travel for. Um, but I just don't know that this goes very far.
Sandwiches, fresh sandwiches.
Yeah, I don't think they go that far.
Right, but they're refrigerated though, and
They have
there's a
frozen.
walk-in
Yeah.
frozen. There's a
Mhm.
cooler that is big enough to store like tons of bodies in.
I
Of
I think
frozen.
though that it's like moving fill dirt, right? This is another episode that we talked about. You just don't end up moving fill dirt that far because the law of diminishing returns, your freight starts eating into. These aren't heavy, but I'm just googling and trying to find this business before we hit publish because I really really want to know where it is.
You could be the sandwich man, Mills. Only $2 million. Slinging Sammys all over South Carolina.
Mhm.
I
But
mean,
42 employees and you've got food safety concerns, and this is not an easy business to run. This is
that's a good
actually
point,
pretty
Heather.
tough.
Like the
Mhm.
food safety stuff and the compliance and all that, like
Mhm.
that's tough. That's a fair
Yeah.
bit of work.
Yeah, it is. And there's CapEx, obviously. Look at the freezer, there's equipment, there's trucks, I would imagine.
So I
Um,
Mhm.
wonder. I also wondered how it got to the stores because,
Yeah.
like, do the stores come pick it up from
mm.
them? Do they deliver it? I don't think you ship it common carrier if it's frozen. I mean, you could.
Yeah.
Well,
You
food
can ship.
safety wise, you probably, if
Yeah,
at
no,
least the non-frozen stuff, you probably wanna control it, so you
yeah,
don't get sued because somebody else didn't control it well. Probably they have some trucks, I would guess.
or yeah, maybe they deliver to a local distribution center.
Maybe. Mhm.
But at the same time, though, you think about that. This might be the type of thing where nobody ever bids this contract, right? Like the sandwiches at the gas station are such a small portion of it, right? They've
Mhm.
got the sandwich guy. The sandwich guy's truck shows up at the DC once a week, every week, and they want to cut costs. They're calling Coca-Cola, to negotiate that type of stuff way before they're renegotiating their sandwiches because it just doesn't move much.
Well, and I think, like to my point earlier, I think this is so mom and pop. I think there's probably not even like a contract per se. It's just like the guy who comes and, provides these other ancillary product lines. It's more kind of just demand and fulfillment. Like, hey, the sandwiches keep getting eaten at a rate of 3 per week. And so we need you to bring 3 per week. I
Yeah.
just, so now you're talking about like a route based business in addition to manufacturing and production, and assembling this food that just gets really complicated. If I'm doing a route based business, the convenience stores, the whale to me is the ATM business. And I think we've talked about these before. I've looked at them very very heavily, and I can't ever figure out how to make the numbers work because the working capital needs just dwarf the cash flow by like a factor of like 10 or 20.
Your inventory is $100 bills.
Yes, yes. Or 20s usually, but you can't go get cash. You have to go to like the Federal Reserve. The bigger the business gets, you have to go to Federal Reserve branches to actually get the vaulting of the cash handled. So like if you're going to be on a route-based business and you're going to be going to mom and pop convenience stores, that's what I want to be doing. Not necessarily low average order value, low margin, perishable foods.
Hey everyone, I just want to tell you that this episode is brought to you by Veravend, which is the only platform purpose-built for independent sponsors and private market investors who want to move faster and eliminate friction. Veravend is cool because it combines investment management and secure instant payments into one platform. So that means capital calls, deployments, and distributions, they all work like Venmo. One click, real-time transfers with no transaction limits and automatic reconciliation. So from raising capital to returning it, Veravend handles it all. Deal marketing, data rooms, KYC and accreditation for your investors, signatures, capital flow, dashboards for your investors, and even fund administration, accounting, and taxes. So whether you're raising a single deal or managing a full fund, Veravend gives you the speed and confidence to execute, all in one single platform. So you can check it out and learn more at verivend.com, Verivend.com. We've looked at a couple. You remember like the pasta salad manufacturing business? Like we've done a couple of these that make essentially private label food, ready to eat food for consumption. And it always comes down to the contracts. Like, do you have customers that are going to stick around? And are you actually, do you have enough margin in it? Because it's not just food, it's private label food. So like that's a double margin compressor right there. And you have all the food safety and like, I just don't know that this is a really great part of the value chain.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's the key, is that it's not a great part of the value chain.
And also like the sandwiches are not why you go, well, Mills, I guess the sandwiches are why not.
the pizza though, and the tacos, the gas station tacos.
They have to be good though. They have to be good.
They have to be really good. But like even assuming maybe these are so good, it's a traffic driver for these mom and pops.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that's the whole point, right? If it was good, then it would be like it's a food truck or something like that. It's more that it is just one of those things you have to have. If you're a gas station, if you're a C-store, you have to have gas, you have to have beer, you have to have cigarettes, you have to have lottery tickets, you have to have some fresh food. It can't be all packaged. And this and like a fruit stand, by the register are your fresh food component.
Yeah. Didn't we do a fruit stand also?
I wasn't here for that episode, but I'm really sad I missed it.
Someone should go back in the archives. I think we did the fruit guy that refills the fruit displays.
Oh, maybe we did. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
the fruit guy needs to come by this business, and now we've got something.
Yes.
So actually, Heather, hell yeah. Like that is sort of the only way it makes sense is if you have really good synergies.
Yeah.
It's the fruit guy, or even better if you're like already doing you're the pasta salad guy.
Yeah, right.
So you already have the facilities with the food safety, and it's now an economies of scale thing.
I think this is highly regional, but I'm just thinking about, I know there's no way you have these in California, Heather, but we have an incredibly high saturation of gas stations in South Carolina that have a hot boiled peanut offering.
We do not.
You don't have those. You don't have those in California, do you, Bill? Charlotte?
Oh, we do. Oh, yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Well, I also drive through South Carolina to the beach a lot.
Yes,
I know exactly. Yeah. Like it's like you go in and there is a hot pot, like with an electric burner underneath it.
There's Cajun and regular.
Oh,
that's it.
All right.
And the signs are always handwritten. It says regular and Cajun in a mark.
And are boiled peanuts mushy? Like, are they kind of soft?
Heather,
no. Oh,
when I come to California in 3 weeks, I'm going to bring you a bag of boiled peanuts.
This is what I need.
They are they're ridiculously good.
Really? All right.
They're not, it's not like a guy outside. Come on, Bill. You haven't had good boiled peanuts, then, dude. I mean, it's like a staple.
Bill, bring me a bag of boiled peanuts too. These good ones you speak of.
I'm flying out of Charlotte. So I've got 2 bags. One I'm dropping off at Bill's house.
And then we'll taste them on air together and see. Okay.
The TSA people are going to be like, are you serious?
Yes.
But like, to me, that's a similar type of vendor, right? Where it's not the Pepsi, truck. It's not the beer truck. It's not the cigarette guy. Those folks are all competing for shelf space and slotting and all that kind of stuff. And it's also not packaged. The company we're talking about, the deal is packaged food. This is kind of just like a dispenser that sits on the counter that like has a hot pot underneath it. I have a friend in the gas station business, and they have like over 200 stores. I'm going to ask him about packaged food, sandwiches, and I'm going to ask him about boiled peanuts. He's in Florida, North Florida, so I bet they have some boiled peanuts down there.
The reason the boiled peanuts freak me out is because they're hot. So like how like they
Like a
simmer,
petri dish?
simmer. Yeah, it's
Oh.
like an actual petri dish, like all the time,
Mm.
and that kind of weirds me out.
Yeah, I have a friend and a mentor who his retirement plan, he worked at Oracle in like enterprise sales. He made a boatload of money, but his like true retirement plan was to buy one of the bull peanut trailers and just like get a great location and just work like 3 hours a day and sell bull
And
peanuts.
fling 'em.
But those would be like hot, fresh bull peanuts like that it'll change your
Great.
life.
All right, Mel, bring me a bag. I'm thinking specifically right now on Highway 26 at the Orangeburg exit, Orangeburg, South Carolina. You probably know the one. It's where the Chick-fil-A is, and there's a Sphinx, and there's like everything right there.
Yep.
There is an Exxon there that has the very stereotypical boiled peanut hot pot thing, and we usually stop there for gas on the way to Beaufort. That's just in my mind right now. Boiled peanuts, and I bet they have the sandwiches from this place.
I was at that exit a week and a half ago. I kid you not.
You have to stop there if you're driving. If you're driving between Charlotte and South Carolina. All right, so now you know where to find and kill Mills and I.
This episode took a very weird turn, but I will die on this hill. Boiled peanuts are a meaningful food item.
All right, I
Please
want the
bring them
boiled
to me.
peanut. So Mills has managed in a single episode to create controversy. The sheets and at Wawa people are coming for him, and we're gonna have boiled peanuts controversy in the comments on Twitter as well.
But you know what? I have the commissioner of agriculture in South Carolina on my side. Okay,
He's a
I'm
boiled peanuts
standing
guy?
up for yeah.
I mean, in fairness, if he wasn't, they're gonna boot him right out of office next time.
Exactly.
So, all right, come tweet us about boiled peanuts and about QT and the gas station wars.
Now I'm just thinking about the economic model inside convenience stores for this type of vendor, going back to our original deal, and then all the other things that are there, because I do think that just like the shelf space, at Target and Walmart and the traditional kind of retail model, the C store is like this crazy little ecosystem with all the different parts and pieces. And like you have the independent Red Bull salesman, you've got the Coke and Pepsi fighting over, shelf space. And it's just interesting to think through. This company's carved out a little niche, and to be 70 years old and only be doing, this amount of EBITDA in a way, I think it's impressive and also a detractor.
Yeah, I can't tell. I have a good friend who worked at Frito-Lay for a while. And obviously they do a huge C-store business, and he was in charge of their C-store business. And he was telling me how it works. And it is an absolute war for turf. Like all of those shelves, like Frito has got the space. Like if you have some startup chip, you are not getting it in. All of the coolers, most of them are owned by the beverage companies. So what happens is like you can't get anything into C-store at all. And that's why Coke or Pepsi pay so much for these beverage acquisitions, because then they just drop them in their C-store coolers and boom, they're everywhere. But you can't get into C-stores like at all.
It's a functional monopoly.
Yes. Yeah, it's really crazy, which is weird because then you have this small sandwich store, which seems to exhibit totally different dynamics.
Heather, could you finance something like this?
Yes, but I think a lender would have some of the same concerns we've talked about. And I think what they'd look at that cash flow and they'd probably hit it for some CapEx. So whether it's SDE, they switched to SDE. So let's just say it's SDE. Now we got to take 100,000 at least off for a salary. So now it's 320,000, and then we're going to take off some maintenance CapEx. You got it.
Cooler, at least.
Yeah. And so you've got so little cash flow left against a kind of complex operation. I think a lender might like it at first, but then when they dig in, I think they might not want to lend here.
I said, could you finance this? But what I really meant is, can I finance this? I wouldn't be surprised too if this business is not charging themselves rent, and so now we're just death by 1,000 cuts.
Then there's nothing. Yeah. Right. It's only got a cash flow because it's been around for 70 years, and they're calling it SDE. So I think there's very little cash flow here to service any debt.
Yeah. Obviously, you got to see, is there rent on the P&L or not?
Yep.
All right. So Mills, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, yeah. Thumbs up, baby.
Sandwich King of South Carolina. We're going to add boiled peanuts to the lineup, and Mills going to crush it. Thumbs up.
I mean, this is like a perfect testament, though, to how much geography matters to me. Like, because it's in South Carolina, I'm dying to know. Like, the business could be 10 times better and have inexplicably higher margins. If it's in Texas, I'm like, I don't know, it just doesn't mean anything to me. But because it's here, I know a ton of C-store owners, right? Like I spend a bunch of money at gas stations because of a fleet of trucks. Like I just want to know. Yeah.
I thought you were referring to your pizza habit before you said it.
Yeah. I eat 3 meals a day at convenience stores. And
all right. So Mills is thumbs up. Heather, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I've declined this loan. It's pre-declined.
Oh,
you need to copyright that.
Man, the prior episode, Heather agreed to finance on the spot. This one, she has pre-declined for SBA financing.
You just don't like sandwiches, Heather. Let's be honest.
Right. I like good sandwiches. I don't think I like these, probably. I probably don't.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I think I'm also thumbs down. We'll leave Mills. We'll leave this one to you.
We're going to expand into North Carolina, and then Bill's going to want to buy in, and the multiple is going to have gone up at that point.
Not.
So.
Yeah. I will have missed it. Get in on the ground floor of convenience store sandwiches and boiled peanuts with Mills. All right. If you guys like this episode and if you're into boiled peanuts, you can listen to Mills talk about his convenience store eating habits on 400 other episodes of Acquisitions Anonymous on our website, acquanon.com, or wherever podcasts are downloaded. Almost any industry you can think of, we have talked about it. Or just subscribe and wait another couple days and we'll be talking about something else. So we publish twice a week. We would love to have you as a subscriber, and we will see you on the next episode of Acquisitions Anonymous.